Hi, my name's Kristin Kennedy. I am an upcoming sophomore at Newman University. Today I'll be discussing my experiences with the coronavirus and the quarantine. So first I'm going to start off with some facts about the statistics in my hometown. I live in Delaware County. It's about like 30 minutes away from Newman. The confirmed cases right now are 2,484 and there's 99 deaths. In Pennsylvania, there is 32,284 cases and 1,112 deaths. So the ratio keeps on going up every day. So it's an essential to stay home and make sure that everyone's staying in quarantine. And as of now, there's a lot of essential businesses still open. I guess for people to get what they need, if people need like milk or if they need like bread. My work's actually open still. I work at Swiss Farms. It's a drive-through convenience store in Delaware County. And Starbucks and McDonald's and like Dunkin' are open for business still, but it's only like curbside pickup and going through the drive-through. And everything is still pretty much in full business except for like retail and small businesses and places where you have to actually walk in and you're in close distance with other people. So WAWA has done a pretty good job in reinforcing the social distancing rule and making sure that you stay 6 feet away from everybody else in the store. And now that the rule is put in place starting on 4/20, that everybody has to wear a mask now. So it's basically like an it's pretty much something that is a requirement now that you have to go out and you have to wear gloves and a mask everywhere. So it's kind of becoming something that's of society right now. So if I guess for my experience before all of this started taking place, I was just starting to play rugby for Newman, for the women's rugby team, and we were just starting out we had a really good team, and shout out to Newman Rugby, but we actually had our first 7v7 game. It's like a mini scrimmage that we had against our team because we have 17 players. And it was just a really fun day, and that's the day that I found out that Newman was going to be closing for 2 weeks. And we were all kind of in a state of shock. That day was just, the mood of the day was just kind of like somber, and it was kind of like a low kind of mood for the day. And we all just kind of like it felt like the world was going to end. It was a rainy day, it was like cloudy, and it was just, it was like a warm, like eerie temperature. Like it was really weird for a day in March. So we actually had a lot of fun that day, and we had our last team dinner together, and that was the last time I've actually had dinner with my friends, was with a lot of people, was about like 45 days ago or something like that. It had to be somewhere around like 45-day period, because our last practice was on like Sunday, or no, not Sunday. It was on Thursday. It was on the Thursday before we had they announced the 2 weeks that we were going to be on break, another extension from the week of coming back, because we literally just came back from spring break on the day before, or the week before, I meant. And we were back at school for about a week, and then things started getting really bad, and then we had 2 more practices, and they were probably one of the most fun practices that we've had so far, because we just started learning how to tackle, we just started learning how to ruck, and we were pretty much getting everything, all the fundamentals down, and everything was getting set in place, and we had a really good team, and we were really excited for the season, especially because we had a few tournaments lined up, and we're going to have a home game actually under the lights on the stadium, and we're going to try to, our coach was going to get one of the one of the like somebody within the communications major to announce our names at the stadium for a game, and it was going to be really fun. And we did find out a week before we actually stopped going back to school that a lot of the rugby teams started dropping out of the league because of the virus and how quickly it was spreading. I guess everyone was really anxious about it, and just this feeling of like uncertainty and like hopelessness and just anxiety was something that was through the roof, and everybody was talking about it. And it was something that nobody was really expecting to happen, but just the vibe and like the energy of everybody who was in the cafeteria afterwards was like, it was really an eerie feeling, and never something that you would never expect to happen. Even with my friends, like I saw my one of my close friends on the last day before we left, and we had lunch together, and it was something that was really, it was kind of like a I guess you could say like a bittersweet moment. But ever since then, it just hasn't been the same, especially with every day being in the house. And I guess you could say that the anxiety has gone down a little bit, but it's still kind of, it's not the same feeling as it was per se, like a few weeks ago when everything started going into place. So we've been on lockdown for about a month now, and the rules keep getting pushed on us. And I mean, even if it's just like you can go outside and like take your dog out for a walk, or I know that it's a really tough time for a lot of people, especially if they're living in areas that are impacted the most. But just kind of keeping your mind like alert and keeping yourself active and keeping yourself with like surrounded by people who are in your family, or talking to people even on FaceTime is something that's really good for you to do, as to keep yourself kind of intact and make sure that you're okay and everything. And like it definitely is a change for everybody, but it isn't something that's going to be necessarily permanent. But a lot of places are closed indefinitely, especially places where a lot of people are kind of close and like shopping within, except for the essential businesses. For like Acme or Giant or anything like those kind of businesses, like they have to stay open because they're essential. But everything else other than that has been crazy with, not being able to do anything. And people are kind of getting used to staying at home. A lot of people are unemployed right now, so it's also kind of something that's like building on to the anxiety of the whole thing. But it's not necessarily the end of it, and hopefully we will be able to go back to school starting in the fall. It's not something that should overtake somebody, because I read this article saying that just reading a news article about the virus is equivalent to working out and getting a good workout in, and just the draining energy that it takes. It takes all that energy that it's equivalent to the energy that it would take out of you if you went to like work out at the gym. So I actually did find a quote about this, and I'm going to share it with you. So just for time and just to make sure that everybody's doing okay. Here's a quote. So worrying does not take away tomorrow's troubles. It takes away today's peace. So worrying does not take away tomorrow's troubles. It takes away today's peace. So if you're worried about tomorrow, you shouldn't be, because every day's a new day. You have to wake up with a different mentality. And I also have another quote saying, "Fear in the beginning led to feelings of understanding." So people who, like for me, like this quote kind of ties my experience in, because I did fear. When I did figure out about the virus at first, I did fear. That was my initial feeling, was fear. And it was something that was crazy, so I was not expecting it, especially with everything that's been going on. So, I guess to end this, I'm going to say stay safe, stay healthy, practice social distancing, and just continue to be positive. All right.